Hey guys, this is Nick from Not Your Heroes. You can check me out at notyourheroesofficial.net, and you can also listen to me on Spotify and Apple Music. And of course, you are listening to the one and only Smile Radio.
Holy e-bike lads! Holy superb indie music variety! Oh, but hang on. No, wait a minute. This is the Ritchie J Show! Holy Yorkshire Puds! And I'm indie recording artist Jerry Hall, coming live at you from Wakefield, Yorkshire, England, on Smile Radio. And we're set to go with some of the most superb and diverse independent music from across the globe. Holy God's culture and cowpats! Holy teabags and crumpets! Holy blimminack, and let's get on with it. So without further ado, here's your host of the show, Mr. Ritchie J.
Thank you. Far too kind. I absolutely love that intro. That's the second day of me running it. A big thanks to Jerry Hole there for that introduction, because, you know, it's a fan-doodly-tastic one. So welcome to the Ritchie J Show. I'm live on air now on Smile Radio. You can catch me online, www.smileradio.co, or you can download our app for free in the Apple and Android stores, respectively. It's free, it's easy. There's an alarm clock so you can wake up to the sounds of my sexual dulcet tones in the morning. Or one of the other guys here at Smile Radio. We're going to talk about Smile Radio shows a little bit this afternoon. We've also got some Crackdoid Factoids. We've got a playlist action-packed with a lot of music today. So, yeah, I'm going to have to kick off today's show a little bit now, getting straight into the mix this today. If you want to get in contact with me, feel free, hit me up at Smile Radio Yorkshire on Facebook, at Smile Radio 3 on Twitter and Instagram. Now, this is the Ritchie J Show, home of the best independent, diverse music from around the world. So we've got indie pop, indie folk, indie rock, music to blow your socks off this Tuesday. And yeah, you got a little bit of chat in between. We've got our Crackdoid Factoids coming up in hour 2. But we're going to kick off the show today with some Daniel Santoro, and he is also joined by Sergio for Strangers.
Standing by the bar, I see you dancing with him, and you're so close and yet so far. Though we had it, we lost somewhere between. Faded memories and broken hearts. Never thought I'd see you with somebody else, but tonight is one of those nights.
Next up on the list today is Sequin Dress. This is by Lone Wild. You're listening to Ritchie J here on Smile Radio. That one there, Sequin Dress. No, sorry, Sequin Dress was kicking off the first one there. Sorry, I'm having a right day. The last song there was Sequin Dress. That was by Lone Wild. The first song of the day was Strangers by Daniel Santoro and Sergio. You're listening to the Ritchie J Show. Finally got myself together here. It is Tuesday. This morning, I was rudely awoken up this morning. I'm not a great morning person, and there was a knock at the door, and Jake was up and about, and yeah, I just kind of like grumbled for a minute. I was like, Jake, are you knocking? He's like, no, that's not me. There's somebody at the door. So I was like, right, okay. So I stumble out of bed, open the top window. I was like, all right. The man pops out. He's like, yeah, I'm here to check the asbestos in your roof. You are? So yeah, he came and done an asbestos check on our attic this morning. Really random. Just like, he come in, looked up there for 2 minutes, went, yeah, you got no asbestos. It's like, well, you guys actually already know that technically already. But yeah, we've got the roofers coming tomorrow to have a look at the roof because we're getting a new roof. So busy week. But yeah, he weren't supposed to come till 3 o'clock, and at 8:15 this morning, he's banging me door. So yeah, not amused, I've got to say, to the least. Anyway, how are you doing today? Drop me a message at Smile Radio Yorkshire on Facebook, at Smile Radio 3 on Twitter and Instagram. And of course, if you do miss any of this show, you can catch it later on demand, either on Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, or even on our website, www.smileradio.co/on demand. So, coming up today, we've got some great, fantastic independent musicians on the list. We've got today's featured artist coming up, the Incurables from Detroit. You know, getting out there into the world a little bit now. So we've done a few done yesterday's this week because it's only Monday. In the UK, we've gone over to the US for today's featured artist. So we'll be talking about them very, very shortly. Up now on the list, though, this is Brother to the Birds and Evergreens. You're rocking out with Ritchie J this chilled out Tuesday afternoon, only on Smile Radio.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You were holding lilies, was it a dream? We were laughing silly under evergreens. We had nothing but our promises and unfinished songs. We'll grow and grow on a vine before we taste the new wine. And if we don't taste anything, we'll love anyhow. While they were waiting for us, we danced unrehearsed. In the cool of the day, we were the first. We had nothing but our promises and unfinished songs. We'll grow and grow on a vine before we taste the new wine. And if we don't taste anything, we'll love anyhow. In the raging sun, we will toil. We'll never find a place to call home. But where you go, I will go, and your God will be my God. Oh my God. We had nothing but our promises and unfinished songs. We'll grow and grow on a vine before we taste the new wine. When you receive your great crown, I'll see you as you're standing now. So beautiful. Let's go there again. Let's go there again. We'll go there again.
That one, Brother to the Birds, Evergreens. A great little track there. That's from their self-titled album, Brother to the Birds. Again, nice little bit of indie folk there this afternoon. We have got such an eclectic mix for you today, and it's a diverse range because, you know, it's coming up to that time of the day where we're going to talk about our featured artist because this year is the year of the featured artist here at Smile Radio. That's right. Basically, every day, Sundays through to Fridays, we have a featured artist go up on our website. It doesn't cost you anything to get involved. We're all about showcasing new and undiscovered music this year, and the music you should be listening to. And we've had some fantastic submissions. We're getting so many submissions, I'm actually starting to build a backlog of nearly 2 months of featured artists now. So we're going to have to look at maybe expanding our writing team on this a little bit. So yeah, if you fancy being a featured artist writer, get in contact with me, Ritchie.Johnston, RITCHIE.JOHNSTON at smileradio.co. And yeah, let me know all about you. Send us a sample of your work, let us know what you're all about. And yeah, get in as a featured writer here at Smile Radio on the Year of the Independent Artist, which on that note, it is time to talk about our featured artist of the day. Now, our featured artists from today, they hail from all the way from Detroit, So yeah, Detroit, Michigan, what a distance, It's a bit different from right on our doorstep to, overseas. But anyway, these guys, they're called the Incurables, and they started out in Westland, Michigan, US, which is where lifelong friends Ray Lawson and Pat Kelly, joined by Darren Lawson and Dennis Pepperjack. Darren Lawson is Ray Lawson's cousin, and they became the Incurables in the mid-'80s, and even today, they're all still rocking out together. They are the true OG Incurables still to this very day. They're very active in the performing scene. They're out and about at festivals. They've been playing at stuff. You can check more about these out on our featured artist site today, the featured artist /the-Incurables. Again, they've got a great diverse range. Now, this year as well, up until summer, they're publishing covers every month, which is the song I've kind of chose for them today. I've chose their cover of February because, we had a great cover of Black Velvet yesterday. I wanted to try and keep that up, so I got another absolutely gobsmackingly awesome cover sent in to us today. We've also got an album out as well. Now, the cover that they're doing today is Wonderful Tonight. You can follow the Incurables on Facebook, which is at Incurables Detroit. On Twitter, it's at IncurablesMI. CD Baby, Reverb Nation, YouTube, Spotify, and you can catch them on the website, http://www.theincurables.net. So yeah, check out this fantastic band from Detroit. We're going to play one of theirs, and this is their cover, and you can be a featured artist this year on Smile Radio. Not only that, we do also have a promo opportunity for you, like independent artists out there, because we know at the same time it costs a lot of money to make music, and then you've got to promote yourself as well, and that costs money. So here at Smile Radio, we're not going to charge you to promote your work. We're offering a 30-second airtime promo for you. All you have to do is mention Smile Radio in the promo, and we've got some absolutely fantastic ones today. So I'm going to play you one now, and then I'm going to play you one. I'm going to play you the song "Wonderful Tonight," and yeah, see what you think.
Hey, this is Michael from the Finite Beings, and you can catch our single Spirit Driven right here on Smile Radio or at thefinitebeings.com.
Wow.
told you it was amazing, didn't I? Yes, that was the Incurables with a cover of Wonderful Tonight. Get over to Spotify and check out the Incurables. They've got albums. Their 2015 album Sex Cells, which is SEX. Obviously, that's how you spell sex. Is the one way to spell sex. I'm talking too much about that right now. Cells, which is CELLS. Check that out on there. In 2000, they released an album called Fade. And yeah, the most recent single of 2019 is Wonderful Tonight. And last month they did I'm Not Your Stepping Stone. They even had a Christmas album as well. And their album I Don't Feel So Well, released in 2018, is available for listening here on Smile Radio. So yeah, check out the Incurables and their fantastic, diverse range of music. Been playing since the 80s, so you know there's going to be some amazing rock in there. And we're going to have more of their music in the mix here at Smile Radio, because yes, they are today's featured artist. So if you want to be a featured artist here at Smile Radio, get in contact with me, Ritchie, RITCHIE.Johnston, JOHNSTON, at smileradio.co. Let us know all about you, where you are playing, what you're doing, and yeah, we'll get you featured on the website this year. Give you a shout out across social media. Send us your promo, because you know it's not going to cost you anything to do, but it gets the word of you out a little bit more, and that's what it should all be about. Because you know it's not fair game at the moment, because you got the big production companies that can put the millions into advertising, and that's how the chart gets filled up so quickly, is because all this paid advertising churns out and pushes it onto people, whereas you independent artists don't get the chance to do that, and you have to rely on the live scene, and you have to rely on everything else. So yeah, Smile Radio is all for you this 2019 with the year of the independent artists. And on that note, we're going to have some more music, and I'm going to come back with a bit of chat. This is Julia Othmer, and this is Purple and Grey here on the Ritchie J Show. It's Smile Radio on Tuesday the 12th of February.
He would know her as she slept away. I hope you remember. And I know someday I wore my desire. Purple and gray, purple and gray. Feeling the echoes fading away. Shadows whisper. Sometimes they say, can you hear me calling your name like thunder? Purple and gray, purple and Purple for the sundown, purple for
Yeah, that one there, Purple and Grey by Julia Othmer from the single Purple and Grey. Welcome back to the Ritchie J Show. You've got to give a big shout out to Dennis from the Incurables. He just dropped us a message down on Facebook to say thanks to the play. Absolutely no problems. What a great track. Again, I will be listening to more of the Incurables on my Spotify playlist from now on, I tell you that. So yeah, don't forget, be a featured artist here at Smile Radio this 2019. Right, coming up in the next half hour, we're going to be starting off the Crackdoid Factoids of today. We've pre-planned these. These are 28 pop culture classics that nearly never came into existence. Can you believe that? I mean, I love my pop culture, and if these had never come into existence, what kind of a grim, nasty world would we live in? I mean, other than the one that we actually live in now, but, it's kind of like that really, isn't it? But hey. Right, the next one on my list before I get going, because I've got so much music to get through today, I want to make this a music-centric style show before we get into the factoids. I've got a good one from a blast from the past here. So when I first started out on radio, I teamed up with DJ Downs and Codfather, and we did The Exiles Unsigned. And it's not a case that we've broken up, we're just doing our things at the moment where we're enhancing the listens to undiscovered and independent music. And, from time to time, we'll all get together, we'll have a chat and stuff. And anyway, I realised I hadn't played these guys for ages, and I'm going to do these guys as featured artists this year because all of our original unsigned artists, they're going to get featured artist slots. In fact, it's the next two artists here I'm going to play for you. So right next up is Dan O'Sheehan and W3D Tour. This is from the album Passing Time. Now this is a London-based band. They're absolutely fantastic. They're very blues-driven, and you can tell with the music, the passion that goes into making the music. And the Passing Time album is a timeless classic, and DJ Downs was lucky enough to even get a signed copy on LP. Lucky dude, you know what I mean? So lucky. But yeah, this is I Didn't Always Get It Right by W3T Tour from the album Passing Time. Check this one out.
I didn't always get it right. There was a time in my life when everything I did seemed right. But now those days they have gone, and yet I know, I didn't always get it right. I have tried to do my best, but that don't always
Great little blues band there from the heart of London. That is W3 Detour, and I didn't always get it right. Again, check out these fantastic artists. They're all on Spotify, Reverb Nation, Amazon.com Music, all the great places that you can go and listen to music. And if you missed this show and you liked them on this show and you like the other music we're playing on this show, catch it again on demand. www.smallradio.co/on-demand. Featured artists, don't forget to check that out. www.smallradio.co/featured artists. If you are interested in being a featured artist, please, please, please don't forget to send us your listen links and where you are gigging in the next few months, because we want to showcase you as much as possible, reinvigorate the live venues, because that's what it's all about. You know, I see way too many posts every day about live venues not playing music. There was one so much recently in my home neck of the woods back in Norfolk. A place in Norwich had actually decided not to play live music anymore, just because it wasn't doing them any sort of favors at all. And you know, it kind of goes hand in hand with how it's promoted and stuff as well. Like the venues just it's got to the point now where the venues expect the artists to promote it. You get a little bit of promotion from the venues, and then the artists are kind of feeling under pressure, so they have to rehearse the set, get the set ready, everything like that, and promote it on top as well. And then promotion these days costs money, because you get promotion out on social media, but really because of social media algorithms, you're not hitting the right numbers of people. And you know, it's just all a domino effect, and we want to reset the domino effect now, and we want your dominoes to clack all the way to Smile Radio, where we will tell you where you're playing, and we'll tell the world where you're playing, and hopefully reinvigorate the live venue scene again, because it's all about live music. Ourselves this year, every year we sort of talk about it. We talked about it last year. We did it a couple of times last year, but we want to refine the act this year. Every year we have a live music event with Smile Radio. We had one even last weekend. It was just like a local community charity event that we got out into the local Tesco's over here in Pontefract. We had Carl Anscombe, yesterday's featured artist, and Olivia Clifton. Both did their own little sets in Tesco's. It was all in aid of the Sheffield Children's Charity. You can catch that now on demand on Podbean. There's links on there to be able to donate to the Children's Hospital charity in Sheffield. It's for a fantastic cause. But yeah, we want to get out to live events and live venues and, you know, showcase the independent music that's out there. You know, I know we're not quite BBC levels or Kerrang type levels just yet, but we will get there, and we'll get there with you, bringing you with us as well along the way, because, you know, that's the drive and determination that it takes. And, you know, sometimes it is sleepless nights, and that's the thrill of the job, isn't it? You know, we do it because it's all about reinvigorating and bringing new life to the world. Instead of seeing gloom and doom all everywhere, we want to see happy music and packed out venues once again, and that's our mission. Anyway, enough of the rant there. A little bit of Ritchie rant. Anyway, that's enough of the Ritchie rant there. Next up on this list is another artist I'm going to feature along this year as well. This is J Tennant. Again, I think Jay's based from London. He's a friend of Nathan Downs. They chat on Twitter from time to time, and he's had some new music coming out quite recently. His latest album came out in January. It's called Escape Routes. Again, check this one out on Spotify, and this is a track from that. This one is called Indigo. You're listening to the Ritchie J Show, here for the next 1 hour, 25 minutes on Smile Radio.
Today I can't get out.
another Britpop classic there from Tennant and his album Escape Routes. That one is Indigo, and you can listen to that one now. Welcome back, it's the Ritchie J Show here on Smile Radio till 3 o'clock this afternoon. So, you know what it's time for is... Got it. So you know what time it is. It's time for a word from one of our sponsors. Now, if you're an independent business or you're a small business or a big business and you're interested in advertising, hit up Richard Harrison, who's here at the drive time from 4 o'clock. Richard at smileradio.co, and get involved and be a sponsor on the shows here at Smile Radio. We're independent radio. We offer some fantastic packages for radio advertisement, and we broadcast out to over 60,000 listeners worldwide. 60,000 listeners, that's absolutely crazy. I cannot believe it myself. When I'm looking at the stats on the night time, I'm just dumbfounded. I can't believe that 60,000 people across the world want to take some time out to have a listen to one of us. You know, I'm not saying that we're bad, you know, especially them Game Boys. They're here tomorrow night, but more on that very shortly, because I'm going to promote some other shows in a second as well. Now, here's a word from one of our sponsors.
College Grove Nursery in Wakefield has been providing the highest standard of childcare for over 22 years. Situated on Eastmoor Road, we are close to the M1 and M62 motorway network and also convenient for Wakefield city centre, schools and major places of employment. For more details, check out our website at www.collegegrovenursery.co.uk or give us a call on 01924 200 120 to arrange a visit. College Grove, a special nursery which takes a hand, opens a mind and touches a heart.
Tune in Wednesday nights for the Game Boys of Smile Radio from 9 p.m, bringing the Scenario Game, the best undiscovered alternative rock music, and a little bit of banter about gaming. Tune in Wednesday nights 9 p.m. on Smile Radio.
That's right.
Yeah, boy!
Damn it, I forgot about Flavor Flav. Damn you, Flavor. Anyway, welcome back. It's the Ritchie J Show. Catch the Game Boys tomorrow night with the Scenario Game. Tomorrow night's scenario, I believe, is possibly going to be time travel. You can catch the previous scenarios on demand. We've covered the zombie apocalypse, which didn't go well for Military Mark. For a guy in the army, he does not have great survival skills. And we've done Lost, and we've also done 60 Days In. We've done a prison experiment, which also did not end well. Mark went full convict, and one of the lads ended up getting shanked. It's not a real, though. Don't worry, it's not real. They're not really getting shanked or locked up for life or anything like that. It is just a scenario game. Drop by tomorrow to find out for more info on that. Anyway.
Hey, how you doing? My name's Michael Featherstone and I'm lead guitarist with the Rumble Skulls. We've got a new album out called Lady Pilot. And you can hear it right here on Smile Radio. Enjoy!
That's right, check out the Rumble Skulls. Keep sending them promos, we absolutely love them. We've had some absolutely fantastic gobsmacking ones, and my main man Jerry Hole, he done me the intro for the show, and I absolutely loved that. I'm proper man loving that intro that I've got. I'm never going to stop using it. I think it's just a brilliant intro. Anyway, next up on the list today we've got Zapatilla and How Long?
Resolution. Fighting night after night was no solution. Blood drained from the heart with every cut we made. With so many signs of confirmation, Now we're reaching the final destination. Details of your face slowly fade away. How long has this been playing on your mind? I guess you don't know me. I guess you don't know me. Seconds, hours and days eroding into space. Separate chapters of our lane. Words exploding in our face. Still I have to ask myself, am I really innocent? Maybe I should stand and fight. How long has this been playing on your mind? I guess you don't know me. I guess you don't know me. How long seems wrong? This is taking up your time. You should have told me. You should have told me. How long has this been playing on your mind? I guess you don't know me. I guess you don't know me. How long seems wrong? This is taking up your time. You should have told me. You should have told me.
How Long by Zapatilla. Welcome back, it's the Ritchie J Show. Again, I'm playing a little bit of an eclectic mix. We've got some indie pop, we've got some indie rock. We just mixed it up today, just, so, you get a bit of flavour. It's Tuesday. Tomorrow, it's going to be all rock. Trust me, we've got some great bangers in for tomorrow. And, right, starting off today's Correct.com, Correctoid Factoids of today is the 28 pop culture masterpieces that nearly didn't happen. Now, before I get into this, if you want to get in contact with us, feel free, hit us up on Facebook, at Smile Radio Yorkshire, on Twitter and Instagram, at Smile Radio 3. So, at number 28, it was a miracle that Cleopatra in 1963, the film with Elizabeth Taylor, ever came out. Initial filming was riddled with so many problems that the first director resigned in frustration after producing 10 minutes of footage. Lead actress Elizabeth Taylor contracted double pneumonia, which nearly killed her. They had to throw away $7 million worth of material when production moved from England to Italy, and the budget exploded from $5 million to $40 million, which in today's money is around $300 million. How crazy is that for one film? I mean, even though you think about it these days, films have pretty much got like $1 billion budgets and stuff, and even back then, that is ridiculous. If you think about what $300 million is today, I mean, if I had $300 million, I'd make a load of movies, buy a nice house, make a load more movies, make a couple of pilots in between there, bring out a couple of comic books, stuff like that. I wouldn't just spend it all on one movie. Damn. Anyway, at number 27... my phone's gone. This is the worst screenplay that a film company has ever been handed. This is awful. And that came from TriStar executive Mike Medavoy. And do you know what he was saying that about? Pulp Fiction. That's right, Pulp Fiction. But luckily, after some editing, Quentin Tarantino managed to get the movie picked up. Just imagine what the world would have been like if we didn't have Pulp Fiction. We still wouldn't know what was in the briefcase, At number 26, nobody wanted to film The Exorcist because the novel it is based on was a commercial flop. Author William Peter Blatty was turned down by so many film studios that he proclaimed, "I would paper the walls of my bathroom with rejection slips." After a stroke of luck got Blatty a 45-minute interview on the Dick Cavett show, the book sales skyrocketed and Hollywood finally said yes, You wouldn't have the famous lines from The Exorcist that, you can't quote on daytime radio. But yeah, crazy so far. 3 films there that have significantly impacted, like, my life at some point or the other. I remember reading The Exorcist. It was a book that my grandmother had given to me. I remember watching Pulp Fiction because I snuck into the cinema to watch that at a young age. It was like one of the films that I'd ever snuck in. I didn't used to break into the cinema all that often, but I snuck in just to catch a glimpse of Pulp Fiction because everybody was telling me about it. And then the first one as well, Cleopatra coming at you, that was one of my grandmother's favourite films, and she'd sit and watch that because she loved ancient Egypt. So I've got memories attached to 3 of these films already. So if you've got any memories attached to any of the stuff that I'm reading out today on thecrack.com, 28 blockbuster, pop culture hits that might have not never have been, get in contact with me at Small Radio Yorkshire on Facebook, at Small Radio 3 on Twitter and Instagram. Next up now, this is Misery by Glass Peaks. That one there, Misery by Glass Peaks. You're listening to The Ritchie J Show. It's Small Radio. We're coming up to nearly hour 2. So, we're going to have another word from one of our sponsors.
The Curtain Shop Ossett. For all your curtains, blinds and upholstery needs, visit our showroom at 9 Kingsway Ossett, WF5 8DA. Or give us a call on 01924 283 284. Visit our website www.yorkshirecurtainshop.co.uk or look for The Curtain Shop on Facebook. The Curtain Shop Ossett.
Hello everybody, this is Jerry Hall, independent recording artist, and you're listening to Smile Radio.
Next up on the list today is Stuckie Tusko, and this one is called Radiation.
Smile Radio.
I feel the world now, all on my shoulders. It's getting hotter, you're getting closer. You're throwing punches, laying tripwires. The noose you're pulling is getting tighter. You don't know who you mess with. I'll spend my every breath getting even. You better run it hard now. This monster's about to face her demons. Even with my hands still shaking, you should know my blood runs cold as ice. Even with the darkness waiting, I will set fire to the fear inside. 'Cause I hear it coming, yeah, you're screaming so loud. I'm calling on angels to stand with me now. Even with my hands still shaking, I'll face my demons. If you think I'm delicate, be very afraid. Well, you see a rose, I see a grenade. Venom in my bones and in my soul, it's in my DNA. So handle with caution, it's how I was raised. You don't know who you mess with. I'll spend my every breath getting even. You better run it hard now. This monster's about to face her demons. Even with my hands still shaking, you should know my blood runs cold as ice. Even with the darkness waiting, I will set fire to the fear inside. 'Cause I hear it coming, yeah, you're screaming so loud. I'm calling on angels to stand with me now. Even with my hands still shaking, I'll face my demons. I'll face my demons. I'll face my demons. Even with my hands still shaking, I'll face my demons. Every fiber in my body's aching. I'll face my demons. I'll face my demons. I'll face my demons. I'll face my demons.
Are you ready for some more pop culture icons that nearly didn't happen? Well, at number 25, Keith Richards composed the guitar riff from I Can't Get No Satisfaction While Half Asleep. He hated the song, and he said, if I'd had my own way, Satisfaction would have never been released. The song was as basic as the hills, and I thought the fuzz guitar thing was a bit of a gimmick. Wow. You know, it's one of my favourite tunes from the Rolling Stones is Satisfaction. Crazy. At number 24, Lord of the Rings almost didn't make it to the big screen. All major studios turned Jackson down. Luckily, New Line came through on the same day Jackson was scheduled to fly back to New Zealand. Good old New Line. And they have had some absolute pearlers back in their time, like in the early 2000s. That New Line cinema proper dominated the cinematic market. Not so much anymore, you know, I think they're now kind of defunct, but New Line Cinema was one of the ones to watch out for. I remember one of the first films I saw of theirs was The Mask, I believe, with Jim Carrey. At number 23, The Godfather. Finding someone to direct this epic story was not simple. The movie was offered and rejected by 11 directors before being accepted by Francis Ford Coppola, who also initially rejected it. Not only that, he actually had to consult with real-life mafioso while making the movie, just to, you know, guarantee authenticity and everything like that. And yeah, if they didn't, imagine having to answer to real-life mafia when you're making the film about a fictional mafia. You make one false move on that, you're going to actually wake up with a real horse's head in your bed. You know what I mean? It's one of these. Crazy. Right, we're going to have some more of these coming up in the next hour. We've gone into hour 2 of the Ritchie J Show here at Smile Radio. And you know what? It is the year of the featured artist, so here's another one of them.
Hey, this is Jan Land here, and you can hear my new single, Outside the Lines, right here on Smile Radio. You can find more of my music at janlandhere.com.
Yes, that's right. Listen out for Jan Land here. He is on the mix, or in the mix here at Smile Radio this 2019, the year of the independent artist. So next up on the list, we've got Dearwoods, and this one is Gene Bloom.
Extraordinary census of human being. My impression was wrong writing this song for him. He just turned out to be an ordinary Jim. So now you lose against gravity.
That one there was Gene Bloom by Dearwoods. Welcome back, it's the Ritchie J Show. It's 2:05. Got 55 minutes left of the show today. Now, coming up in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be not here on the 3rd of March, I believe. It's Jake's 4th birthday. My son is actually turning 4 years old this year. It's absolutely crazy that this time 4 years ago, I was getting ready to actually be a dad. And yeah, what a crazy ride that's been so far. You know, he's almost killed me a few times, but hey, I love that kid to the end of the earth. So yeah, he's 4 years old. And yeah, we've decided that, you know, to get a break from all, we're going to go back to my neck of the woods down in dear old Norfolk for a few days. We're going to spend a weekend down on the Wash and yeah, going to go see Farmer Fred's. So yeah, when I come back on that, will be plenty to talk about, no doubt. But yeah, so I won't be here from on the 3rd of March, I believe, which is a Monday, or it's the 4th of March, which is a Monday. I can't quite remember. But yeah, I'll be back with plenty of tall tales in the meantime of what we got up to in between that. And then next week, I'll have Ritchie J joining me in the studio all week because he's on half term. Yay. But no, it'll be cool. We're looking forward to it. We've got a father-son show lined up and locked in ready for you. We're going to be talking about music, probably talking about his toy collection because, you know, that boy loves his toys. And, yeah, everything fun in between that. Right, so let's talk about some more of these Crackoid Factoids before we go into the next band. These are the 28 pop culture classics that nearly didn't actually ever happen. So, you know, we got to The Godfather. At number 22, HBO hated Game of Thrones so much that they almost nixed the show. They only said yes when nearly the whole pilot was reshot. Damn, imagine what they must have, like, not put in the original pilot and then what they put in the original pilot. It's pretty disturbing, man, you know. At number 21, Halo's legendary multiplayer was almost cut from the game. For Halo Combat Evolved, Bungie didn't have the resources to focus on multiplayer and considered cutting it entirely until a handful of developers reworked it at the last minute. You know, Halo has got one of the biggest multiplayer platforms out there now. It is one of the popular like Xbox games exclusives that you can actually have a pretty decent team deathmatch on, you know, so that's pretty crazy that we always didn't have that. And number 20, Wilson Rules burned his first manuscript of the book that would become Where the Red Fern Grows because his poor grammar made his writing unpublishable. With his wife's encouragement, he rewrote all 35,000 words and the book went on to become a classic. And at number 19 for this section, Nelson Mandela's autobiography, A Long Walk to Freedom, almost got lost in prison. Mandela and Maharaj painstakingly wrote Long Walk to Freedom inside the prison, writing 10 to 15 pages at a time. When Maharaj was suddenly transferred to another prison, parts of the transcripts were still hidden among belongings he was not allowed to take with him. Fortunately, 2 other prisoners managed to smuggle the rest of it out, and then the rest, as they say, is history. Got a musical one coming up in the next load of them. But before that, we've got some more music here now. Now these guys, they're quite prominent on Instagram. They also run the Indie Panda playlist on Spotify. It's a playlist that's worth checking out. We've been missing you guys, man. I've been looking every week. You know, you made my playlist a little bit harder. I've actually got to search for music as well, and you know, going off your recommendations. But hey, it's all good. I want to feature these guys this year as featured artists on Smile Radio because their music again is outstanding. They're great at engaging with their fans on Instagram. This is Before Blue from their album Deadways. This is a song about Beth.
Today I thought about the time we walked home after catching the train and your arm slipped into mine. This is a memory that I haven't thought of for God knows how long now. Redefined from the back of my mind to a gem I won't drop behind. Going round the town today I couldn't help thinking about down all the country lanes that I drove to get to your house. These are the memories that I wouldn't think of till I knew life had moved on. Stomping ground and the connection we found is always seen as being out of bounds, but now it's coming back around. But sometimes I find myself wondering how you're getting on, even though that now it seems so long ago. Part of me wants to know if you've done well or if you fell for someone who treats you in ways I couldn't do, thinking it through and through. Culprits didn't tell me why, then you moved on to pastures new. These are the memories that I was afraid of, but now still so much more to find. Sometimes I find myself wondering how you're getting on, even though that now it seems so long ago. Part of me wants to know if you've done well or if you dwell on yesterday, hitching away and now we're both chasing our dreams. And it's not as bad as it once seems, but for reasons that I can't see, I can't leave it in this dream.
That one there, Song About Beth, and that was by Before Blue from the EP Delta Waves. Check them out now on Spotify. Like I said, they run the Indie Panda blog, so you know they're always talking about new and fresh indie musicians out there in the world. So yeah, get involved with them, check them out on their website, check them out on Spotify, and follow their playlists, because they have some absolutely fantastic playlists on their website and on the Spotify and that, you know. So yeah, check it out. Anyway, welcome back. It's the Ritchie J Show. We're reading out about the pop culture classics that nearly never happened, nearly never came. Number 18, after being dropped twice by other labels, the Sex Pistols later signed with Virgin Records in 1977, where they released the Nevermind the B-Locks song, and yeah, however, I lost my train of thought there because I was trying to think, how do I say that one? However, the album's title was considered offensive because of the word, you know, and was generally generally accepted British slang for testicles. Virgin Records had to get a professor of linguistics to point out, oh, the bollocks that originally meant nonsense. So yeah, I can actually say it because it means nonsense. There you go. Thank you, Professor of Linguistics, who pointed it out to them back then. So I can say it, yeah. And number 17, Back to the Future. The movie was not happening. The script was rejected 40 times for various reasons. Like, Columbia Pictures said not being risque enough. And Disney were like, it's too risque. What do you want? What do you actually want? You know. And number 16, Stephen King felt finishing Carrie wasn't worth the effort and threw away the 3 pages he wrote. His wife found them in the trash, liked the story, and said he should keep going. Good old Mrs. King telling him to keep on going. Hey, if you like Stephen King, you should check out his son as well, Joe Hill. He releases some absolutely fantastic comics out there. Danielle is a massive fan of his Lock and Key series. Not only that, he released Tales of the Unexpected as a range of comic book series. So yeah, check out Joe Hill. From time to time, he actually pops into OK Comics in Leeds, and he'll do a sign in there and stuff as well. How cool is that? You know, the son of Stephen King also writes great, dark, twisted novels himself. And number 15, Gravity Falls almost ended after 1 season. Showrunner Alex Hirsch was committed not to do in the 2nd season because of burnout, until Jon Stewart of all people convinced him to do it, because he's actually a pretty big fan of the show. And at number 14, Dune was turned down by over 20 publishers who believe sci-fi readers only like short stories, but Chilton, a small publisher of trade and hobby magazines like Dry Goods Economist, gave it a chance. And again, the rest was history. What's the final 13? I don't know, I'm going to keep you waiting. We'll find out after some Rogue Network and Soul Digger. You're listening to Smile Radio. It's the Ritchie J Show here on Smile Radio. Come on down to the Midland Hotel, Market Street in Normanton, Wakefield. It's worth checking out. There's a pool table, sports on the TV, friendly environment, great music, great atmosphere. and great prices. What more could you ask for? So come on down to the Midland Hotel in Normanton.
The music you love right here, right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
Broadcasting around the world.
Well, hello.
This is your number one internet radio station.
Welcome back. It's the Ritchie J Show here at Smile Radio, here for the next 40 minutes. So, number 13, Warner Brothers Prince's record label didn't want to release Kiss. The executives objected to the minimalist approach. There's no reverb, there's no bass, it's terrible. But the artist threatened to withhold future singles until Kiss was released. And Kiss, you know, you got to admit, is a great song. I almost slipped up then. You can tell it's the mid-afternoon and I get excited because I almost slipped up myself. And it's unscripted here at Smile Radio. I've just got to clarify, if you're a first-time listener, there is no script here. It is all off the top of my head. So yeah, slip-ups do happen, but that's where the magic comes, you know. At number 12, Walt Disney originally shelved Alice in Wonderland in 1933 because Paramount released the Ray Alice adaptation first. Work on the movie finally restarted in 1939, only for Disney to shelve the project again because of World War II. Alice was a long-time dream for Disney, so he resurrected the movie for the third time in 1945. And at number 11, this one is for you video gamers. Due to young and inexperienced staff, we almost never got the iconic GTA series. After the development teams argued for weeks, the project almost cancelled multiple times. The game didn't come together until creative director Gary Penn got hired and saved the game from getting killed. And as we know, the rest is history of Grand Theft Auto. Starting off as an overhead shoot 'em up, it's now one of the most popular visually drawing in games out there, and one of the most expensive now with all the stuff that you can sort of buy for the online mode. Ridiculous! More of those coming up in the next little bit of the show. Have some more music now. This is the Red Rum Club and Would You Rather Be Lonely from the EP Matador.
What are you waiting for? 'Cause I will be somebody when I wanna be. So baby, would you rather be? Would you rather be lonely, lonely all the time? Would you rather be lonely, lonely or be mine? Take me with you when you go, or leave me be. Your eyes are smoking now, I see no place for me. So I will be somebody when I wanna be. So baby, would you rather be? Would you rather be lonely, lonely all the time? Would you rather be lonely, lonely or be mine? She was hard in the head. I couldn't believe the things she said. Would you rather be lonely, lonely all the time? Would you rather be lonely, lonely or be mine? Would you rather be lonely, lonely all the time? Would you rather be lonely, lonely or be mine?
Would You Rather Be Lonely by the Red Run Club. You're listening to Smile Radio. It's the Ritchie J show here till 3 o'clock. So we've got 35 minutes left of the show. Number 10, the Cocoa Nuts. The Marx Brothers disliked their first film so much they tried to prevent its release. Luckily they failed. The film went on to become a hit and turned the brothers into household names. At number 9, Rockstar saved the Red Dead franchise from Capcom's trash heap. After Capcom cancelled their version of Red Dead Revolver, developed by Angel Studios, Rockstar brought up Angel, inherited the assets and finished the game themselves, starting what would become a multi-million-dollar franchise. And all I can say for that, as the gamer inside of me, is thank the maker. Because, you know, just imagine a Capcom version of Red Dead. It would nowhere be near as good as what Red Dead Redemption is now, apart from the online mode on Red Dead 2. That really does need some work. Come on, lads, we need to get some story modes in it. Now, I appreciate at the moment, you know, you're developing the kill modes and the ways that people can pay to play and pay to win and stuff, but, you know, I'm more of a story-driven player. I want to get the story mode sort of side of the online mode played out of the way before I go back to it. So it has kind of put me off that for a little while, so, you know, there is a downside to it as well. And number 8, the world almost never got to hear Africa by Toto. Toto didn't want to include the song on the album because they thought it was terrible with bad lyrics. After some convincing from a friend, they added the track that became a #1 single. And then you could hear the rains fall down in Africa, Africa. Yes. At number 7, some bad luck with computers almost led to Pokemon Red and Green never being finished. During its 6-year development, Junichi Masuda, who worked on sound design and music, had to fix 4 different computers after they went haywire. One computer crashed that had all the game's data on it, and after doing tons of research and making phone calls, the team finally managed to recover everything. And thus history was made. Not repeated, because, you know, I don't know, it might have been repeated. Who knows? Who knows how time works? Anyway, next up on the list, this is Out to Get Me. For all you paranoid heads out there, this is Velvet. Check this one out.
Would I look back on it? can aim and to shoot a range, better hope your barrel's straight. They'll cheat you and deceive you, yeah, they'll smile right to your face. They're getting bolder. They're getting bolder. There's moonshine in the daytime. Don't come here looking for a gold mine. The best you can do is strike silver. Luck is a lady, try not to kill her. Welcome to the summer town now. There's no leaving summer town now. Welcome to the summer town now. There's no leaving summer town now. Hear a sound drop to the ground, your mouth is running strange. I told you, yeah, I told you, never keep your Christian name. They're getting bolder. Yeah, they're getting bolder. Candy cane don't taste the same, but sugar in the air. Lost in the desert, you can't if I'm water bears and lady. I think you caught her. Welcome to the summer town now. There's no leaving summer town now. Welcome to the summer town now. There's no leaving summer town now. Welcome to the summer town now. There's no leaving summer town now. Welcome to the summer town now. There's no leaving summer town now. Welcome to the summer town now.
Welcome to Silvertown by St. Agnes. Great little track that, you know, proper rock for the afternoon there. Love it. Of course, it's getting windy out there, isn't it? You know what I mean? Anyway, welcome back. It's the Ritchie J Show here at Smile Radio, bringing you the best new music for the next 25 minutes. Time does fly when you're having fun. And number 6, The Little Mermaid Almost Never Happened. Disney thought it had too many similarities to a Splash sequel that was already in the works. As you all remember Splash 2. Probably you don't. At number 5, The Friends gang were almost not there for you if test audiences got their way. NBC Research did a pilot run of the show and found that audiences did not relate to the characters and thought the humour was not clever or original. The viewing report concluded that view intentions for a series based on this pilot were not encouraging. And at number 4, this is the big one. We have Breaking Bad because Vince Gilligan hadn't heard of Weeds when he pitched it. If he had, his idea would have felt too much like Weeds and he wouldn't have bothered, he says. Damn, I never watched Weeds. I was on the Breaking Bad camp, and yeah, I watched that all the way through. I am going to go back and watch Weeds at some point, but yeah, Breaking Bad was the one that I got into the most. So if that had never happened, what would have happened to Walter White? You know. At number 3, Filmways, the company initially bankrolled in Blade Runner, backpedaled at the last minute, leaving producer Michael Deedy with almost 2 weeks to come up with $20 million. Deedy scrambled and managed to get several financiers in time. Now, there's only 2 of those left to come in the next 25 minutes on this show, so we're going to pace it out a little bit. We're going to have a couple of tracks now back to back. Up on the list next is Fuse, and this is More Than Ever, followed by Kid Karate and Black and Beige. You're rocking out. It's Ritchie J this Tuesday here on Smile Radio. Black and Beige there by Kid Karate. Welcome back, it's the Ritchie J Show. Don't forget, coming up this week on Smile Radio, we've got the JJ Kane Show tonight from 10 p.m, bringing you a mix of music that you know, music that you don't know, music that you can sing along to from 10 till 11. Tomorrow, you've got me from 1 till 3, and then the Connor and Zoe's Wednesday kick about from 7:30, I believe, on Smile Radio. It could be 6:30, but I'll clarify that tomorrow. And then you've got the Game Boys Get, and this week I think it's Get Back in Time this week. So yeah, so we're going to have that tomorrow night. On Thursdays, you've got TC Talks with Thomas Crawford Fitzsimmons. On Fridays, you've got The Codfather in my place at 1 o'clock. Then you've got Rich and Chris at 4 o'clock. And then you've got Colonel Bacchus at 6 o'clock from the US. A DJ that brings you the alternative rock, the dub beats, the slick music, and the parody at the beginning of every show. It's a great little parody as well. You should just totally check it out. Every Friday from 6 o'clock. Then at 9 o'clock on a Friday night, the Game Boys are back with the Renegade Rock Hours. And Saturdays, we've got the new music food truck. Oh, action-packed lineup this week on Smile Radio for you to get involved in. So I'm going to give you one more now of these 26, I believe. And number 2, when Paul Verhoeven read the RoboCop script, he called it a piece of poo and threw it away. His wife read it and said he could make the movie half action, half comedy. He reread it and agreed. And you know what? RoboCop wouldn't be RoboCop without that comedy angle to it. RoboCop is one of my absolute classic sci-fi movies, action movies of the 80s, just because of its tongue-in-cheekness. It sort of takes the action hero trope and just sort of makes fun with it. And then when they remade it, they took all that out. And it was a very, very bland film because of that, I think. And it really sort of affected how, like, you know, RoboCop sort of happened. And, you know, I miss the old school RoboCop with the, I'd buy that for $1. You know, that guy, if you've ever seen it. If you haven't seen it, totally check out the original RoboCop. And not unless you're under 15, because if you're under 15, you should check that film out. It's absolutely gore-tastically action-packed. It's not great. It's not great. It's the best. It's the best. Anyway, welcome back. It's the Ritchie J Show here for 15 more minutes. So we're going to have some more music on the show. But first, what we're going to do is we're going to drop in one of these. Bear with me. I'm having a moment.
Hey, this is Warmer, and you're listening to my new single, Pretty Clickbait Machine, right here on Smile Radio. You can catch more from my Anthropocene release at warmer.bandcamp.com.
Up now, some King Shower. This is Kalami.
Famous
That one there, Calamity by King Shelter. Welcome back, it's the Ritchie J Show here for 10 more minutes now on Smile Radio. Coming up after me, don't forget you can get involved in the Britpop Brigade with Farnsworth Kensington, my evil alter ego. I had to do it because I'm sick of hearing my voice on Smile, I've got to admit it. Right, so yeah, here's a tip of what's coming up after me at 3 o'clock.
Ah, yes, England, known for many things.
Yes, you know, fish, chips, cup of tea, bad food, worse weather, Merry f***ing Poppins, London.
Well, I say, old chap, well, let us prove you wrong here at Smile Radio, home of the best Britpop from all of the UK. You can catch it now between 3 and 4 p.m. every weekday here on Smile Radio, home of the Britpop Brigade. What-o, party on, dude.
Yeah, that's right, get your Britpop fix at 3 o'clock with old Farnsy and the Britpop Brigade. Right, number one cult classic that nearly never got made today, courtesy of Crackers.com, America's funny site, is A Nightmare on Elm Street. It was rejected by every major studio until New Line Cinema stepped in. There you go, New Line Cinema again in the 80s, paving the way. Then nearly all of the investors jumped ship right before filming. Half the funding came from a Yugoslavian guy who had a girlfriend he wanted in movies. That was from Bob Shea, the New Line Cinema founder. Now, there's a documentary about A Nightmare on Elm Street. I think it's A Nightmare in the USA or something like that. And it's all about the history of the Nightmare on Elm Street films. It's totally worth checking out. It's about a 3-hour-long documentary. But it charts all of the history of Nightmare on Elm Street, like all of the old costume checks and everything like that. And you get to hear the stories about Bob Shea and his crazy thing. And he annoyed the director of, I think it was the third one, so much that the third one, the director dropped him in a cameo in a gimp suit just because of how much he actually annoyed the director when he was making. I think it was Wes Craven. He annoyed him that much while making the film that he dropped him a cameo in the film in a gimp suit. So yeah, look out for Bob Shea in that Nightmare on Elm Street film in the dream sequence with a gimp suit, because yeah, that's payback for you. So yeah, there are cult classics that almost never got made. Stay tuned, we've got some great stuff coming up at Smile Radio. I've got time for a couple more songs before I call it a day. So I'm going to jump straight into the next one, which is Slappy by Brig Spring.
It's turning hands again.
been listening to the Ritchie J Show here on Smile Radio. That last one was Big Spring and Slappy. I'd like to take a big thank you to everybody that's taken the time to tune in this afternoon and have a listen to the Ritchie J Show. I am back again tomorrow, 1 till 3, or if you've missed any of the show and you'd like to hear it, it will be shortly available on demand, so you can catch up. And that's www.smileradio.co/on-demand. Or if you fancy smashing and have a smart device, you can catch us on Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, and all great podcasting sites. So whatever your flavour is, have a look for Smile Radio Yorkshire and be sure to check us out, yes. So coming up after me is the Britpop Brigade, and I'm going to finish today with the Rival Sons. This is Sugar on the Bone. Gotta love you and leave you now. Have a great Tuesday. Peace out!